Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. I want to tell you this story because this story is just too good to keep to myself. So as you've seen in the past, in my past videos, my roommate is white. He has a white friend. Now, I should have known this from the very beginning, knowing what I had already known about this guy. And I'll get to what I know about this guy in a second. So he told me a story that his friend, we will call him Bilbo. So Bilbo is racist. He does not like black people. Why does Bilbo not like black people? The story goes that he was mugged by black people. Therefore, he doesn't like black people. Okay, and this is all that I heard of the tale, the great tale of Bilbo's racism for a very long time. Now, today, my roommate lets me in on some more details. Bilbo was coming home walking, and he was crossing the train tracks. It was midnight. Bilbo was drunk. And I said, stop the presses here. I'm no criminal. In fact, I'm the exact opposite of criminal. I'm like a paladin, lord of goodness and holiness and all that other crap. You like the juxtaposition of those words all together? Super religious guy, right? That's me. And I said, so because he was a fumbling drunk at midnight, pitch black, presenting himself like an easy mark in the middle of nowhere, where no one would see, because the train tracks are located where nobody even lives, works, nothing, right? There's nobody around there. And probably, and I said this before, probably these guys weren't even black. This guy is a drunk. This guy has always been a drunk. Now, because he has presented himself as an easy mark, and somebody, I don't even want to say take advantage of. I mean, because it's like platter stuff, telling you, hey, come take my money. You don't even have to beat me up, just come take my money. Push my hand out the way and take my money, which is probably what happened. They probably weren't even black. This guy is a moron. He probably just made them black so that he could have an excuse why he doesn't like black. Because if you loved black people, right? And two black people mugged you, you wouldn't cease all of a sudden to not only not love black people, but to then direct yourself to hate black people. I mean, there had to have been some sort of fertile ground for hatred of black people before this alleged mugging even took place. I don't even know if it's real. This guy's a drunk. He could very well lie. I'm very used to people lying, right? And I said to my roommate, I said, you know what? I know of another story of a young black girl who told me, and I don't mean like she was like 10, I'm talking about she was like 27, who told me, young in the sense of she's not 60 years old. She told me that she doesn't date black people. She volunteered this to me. I'm guessing she's trying to warn me off. At the time, I was at a coffee shop walking on the sidewalk, literally minding my own business, comes up to me and says, I don't like black guys. My uncle molested me, and ever since then, I don't like black guys. She's black, obviously. I just looked at her and I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. Your uncle isn't all black guys. And she, that doesn't matter. That's just how I think. Okay, well, you know what? I really don't have time for this. You go be a moron somewhere. Please don't have children. Please. For the love. You know what? You were molested and you're now tainted. I want you to embrace that taint that you have and never touch a man for the rest of your life. Indulge yourself in all the self-pleasure you could ever wish or want, and never touch a man for the rest of your life. That's the answer to that. Because you're too stupid to populate the planet with your idiocy, because any child that comes from you is now going to heal that story, right? And you're going to try and implant the seed of hatred into that child. So make sure you do not have children. So this Bilbo guy married this prostitute from Thailand. Oh, I'm sorry. She's a massage, but not a therapist. She does massage. And she makes $1,000 a week. Or $1,000 a day. I don't know which. Something about $1,000. He can't afford anything. She keeps her money. And then she goes back to Thailand every so often and stays there for months at a time. Because $1,000, and I mean, of course she's not taking $1,000. She's taking like what? $30,000. You know, and then she's like giving it away to her family, and she's got 2 kids there already, right? And I was like, Bilbo, why don't you move the kids? Well, I didn't say anything. But why wouldn't you move her kids here, right? Whoever she had the kids by, and I'm assuming it's not the same person, probably can't provide for those children anywhere near the way she can, making American dollars and their Thai. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the reality of the situation, right? And that's the story of Bilbo the racist, a fumbling drunk in the middle of the night, crossing railroad tracks in the middle of nowhere, and he gets mugged by 2 quote-unquote black guys. You know what? If there were 2 black guys, they were probably crossing the railroad a mile away from him, and he happened to have seen them. This guy is an alcoholic, and he probably made up this story to figure out why he lost all his money, to excuse himself from losing all his money gambling. This is Las Vegas. Did I forget to mention that part? And he's a big-time gambler, a gamblaholic, or whatever term that is. But this is the thought process of some people. I want to impart upon you not the stuff about the racism, but the complete juxtaposition of this moron versus how I live my life. I do not put myself in a position to be mugged. I don't put myself in a position to have racists around me. I don't walk into a racist restaurant. I don't walk into a racist retail clothing store. Don't do it. Oh, I see you have a Confederate flag on your wall. Bye-bye. Oh no, that is just talking about the pride of bye. I don't care what you want to excuse yourself with saying, trying to make it go, oh, that's the pride of the, no, that's not the pride of the South. That's the pride of slavery. That's what that stands for. That is your legacy. Somebody else with far superior armament went and stole people from another continent, and you happen to be the end buyer of this crap. You didn't go out and beat Kunta Kinte over the head in the middle of the African jungle somewhere. You didn't do that. You happen to have been born into a family with money, because that's how it works. Poor people didn't buy slaves. So all the rich white people, you know, that's their claim to fame. There's nothing that they actually did. They're not superior. They just happen to have money, and there was a slave trade going on. And all the poor white people have absolutely nothing to show for their stuff, and they hated slaves. I don't put myself, and that's the legacy of the Confederate flag. That's the legacy of the South, okay? Don't try and say, oh, it's our historical pride, and what is your pride about? The KKK. That's your pride. Don't piss on my leg and say it's raining. I know the history. I know who friggin' stitched that damn flag together. I don't put myself in those positions. I don't want to hear about it. I don't even want to. And I have good hearing too. I'm gonna go buy a car, and I hear from 300 yards ago, oh, here comes that nigger. It's bye-bye. I'm not gonna support somebody. I don't care if the car was shining and speaking to me in the voice of Lola Falana. I don't even know. And saying, Shakaama, come buy me. We have a mail-in rebate that makes this car almost free. No, I'm not gonna support somebody racist. Don't put yourself in those positions. Don't put yourself in the position to have criminal acts hoisted upon you. Rape, mugging, theft, speak softly and carry a big stick. Don't put yourself in those positions. Crime is not cool, because a person who is in the mind to do criminal things could very easily turn on you, right? And I know people have criminal friends. They have friends that they, oh, well, you know, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't bother me. Why doesn't he bother you? That's just a matter of time. What's the story? The guy is walking in the snow, sees a snake near death, scoops up the snake, takes it home, warms it by the fire, feeds it milk, and the snake bites the guy. And the guy turns to the snake and says, why did you bite me? And the snake turns to the guy and says, you knew I was a snake when you picked me up. That's the end of the story. You don't hang with snakes. You don't invite snakes, and you don't put yourself in the position to be around these positions. Bilbo is stupid. He put himself in the position like, why in the hell would you walk home by yourself, train tracks, middle of the night, nobody's around, and you have no parts of a gun and no intention of boxing nobody. Drunk as a skunk, fumbling. Thank you for watching the Shakaama live show.